I just don't have the strength to take care of my story anymore. I don't want my story defined by anger. All I ask is just, please help me take care of my story. Growing up when you're not considered to be one of the normal ones is difficult for anybody, but when you're a part of the LGBT community, living in a place where it's not considered acceptable, especially if you're growing up in the heart of Appalachia, it can be even more complicated. But there is hope out there, and there are ways to get through it with a smile on your face. My performance includes pieces of Annette by Hannah Gatsby, Don't Let Them Get You by Sixth Story, and Being Gay versus Being Southern, A False Choice by Brandon Taylor. Now, I'm from a small town, a very small town. I'm from Tasmania. Now, of course, Tasmania is that little island floating off the arse end of mainland Australia. They're just lovely place, famous for a lot of things. Potatoes. But I love Tasmania. I loved growing up there. I felt right at home. I did, but I had to leave as soon as I found out I was a little bit lesbian. And you do find out, don't you? Yeah, I got a letter. Dear Sir Dash Madam. Wasn't a great letter to receive in mid 90s Tasmania because the wisdom of the day was you chose to be gay. I say wisdom even though homosexuality is clearly not a choice. Wisdom is always relative, you know? And in a place like Tasmania, everything's very relative. But the wisdom of the day was that if you chose to be gay, then you should get yourself a one-way ticket to the mainland and don't come back. Gays, why don't you pack your AIDS suitcase there and fuck off to Mardi Gras? When I was younger, I wanted nothing more than to escape the South. At the time, I thought that there was nothing worse than being gay and Southern, that no two parts of a person could be more in conflict. And I felt there was nothing to be done for it except to leave one or the other behind. It's a common enough story, even if the details are different. Many of us, expatriates from the South, you know? Yeah. Just us, expatriates from the South. We get these ideas. We have this tumultuous relationship to that land. And yet we experience its like inexorable pull. It's curious gravity. I did not realize that there was a difference between being Southern and being in the South, that one did not depend upon the other. The dissonance I felt in the South over being both queer and Southern had nothing to do with geography. Why would changing geography abate anything in the soul? The dissonance I now think arose because I felt from a very young age that to be Southern, one first had to love God, and being gay prevented me from doing so because God could not love me back. But now, this is where I am. I don't think I'm very good at gay, and I'm not the only one who thinks that. I've been getting a bit of negative feedback of late from my people, the lesbians. Bit of negative feedback, because gosh, don't my people love the feedback. Not shy with the feedback. One of our spokespeople last year, self-appointed, one of our spokespeople approached me straight after one of my shows to give me a bit of feedback. And that's my favorite time for feedback. Straight after the show, yes please. That is when my skin is at its thickest. The feedback, apparently she said, I was very disappointed in your show this year, Hannah. I just don't think there was enough lesbian content. I'd been on stage the whole time. I didn't even straighten up one bit. I told a story about the time this young man had almost beaten me up because he thought I was cracking onto his girlfriend. Actually, that bit was true, got that right, but there was a twist. It happened late at night. It was at the bus stop. The pub had closed. It was the last bus home, and I was waiting at the bus stop. And I was talking to a girl, you could say flirting. I don't know. And out of nowhere, he just comes up and starts shoving me, going, "Fuck off, you fucking faggot." And he goes, "Keep away from my girlfriend, you fucking freak." And she's just stepped in, going, "Whoa, stop it. It's a girl." And he's gone, "Oh, sorry," he said. "I'm so sorry. I don't hit women," he said. What a guy. "I don't hit women? How about you don't hit anyone? Good rule of thumb." And he goes, "Sorry, I got confused. I thought you were a fucking faggot trying to crack onto my girlfriend." And I kept mistaken for a man quite a lot. But not for long. My masculinity doesn't hold up to the scrutiny. I'm only a man at a glance, which means if it happens in a customer service situation, usually because I'm only a man at a glance, it means I'm very much right there still, right in front of the person who just called me sir and deeply regrets it. The really good ones just erase my memory of being called sir. They're clever. It's a clever trick. They do that with a combination of hypnosis and the magic word. They go, "Can I help you, sir? Madam?" And it works. Gone. I do not remember being called sir. If someone calls me madam, immediately after, it's the apology that I don't understand. When people apologize for mistaking me for a man. I got on a flight recently, walking on, the cabin manager, "Welcome aboard, sir." "Oh, madam, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry." I was like, "It's okay. It's not like you called a man, madam. That would have been..." So I said, "Don't worry." She said, "I am so sorry." I said, "Don't apologize. In fact, I should thank you. I enjoyed it. Thank you. Never apologize. Don't apologize. Look, I don't identify as transgender, but I'm partial to a holiday. I love being mistaken for a man. Because just for a few moments, life gets a hell of a lot easier. I'm top shelf, normal, king of the humans. I'm a straight white man. I'm about to get a good service for no fucking effort. Do not apologize. I was going to take my assigned seat and both the armrest, knee space, no. But in reality, do you remember that story about that young man who almost beat me up? It was a funny story. It was very funny. I made a lot of people laugh about his ignorance. And the reason I could do that is because I'm very good at this job. I actually am pretty good at controlling the tension. And I know how to balance that to get the laugh at the right place, but in order to balance the tension in the room with that story, I couldn't tell the story as it actually happened. Because I couldn't tell the part of the story where the man realized his mistake and he came back and he said, "Oh no, I get it. You're a lady, faggot. I'm allowed to beat the shit out of you." And he did. He beat the shit out of me. And nobody stopped him. And I didn't report that to the police. And I did not take myself to the hospital. And I should have. And you know why I didn't? It's because I thought that's all I was worth. And that is what happens when you soak one child in shame and give permission to another to hate. And that was not homophobia. Pure and simple, people. That was gendered. If I'd been feminine, that would not have happened. I am incorrectly female. I am incorrect, and that is a punishable offense. And this tension, it's yours. I'm not helping you anymore. You need to learn what this feels like, because this tension is what not normals carry inside of them all of the time, because it's dangerous to be different. And I am angry, and I believe I've got every right to be angry. But what I don't have the right to do is to spread anger. I don't. Because anger, much like laughter, can connect a room full of strangers like nothing else. But anger, even if it's connected with laughter, will not relieve tension. Because anger is tension. It is a toxic, infectious tension, and it knows no other purpose than to spread blind hatred, and I want no part of it, because I take my freedom of speech as a responsibility, and just because I can position myself as a victim does not make my anger constructive. It is never constructive. Laughter is not our medicine. Stories hold our cure. Laughter is just the honey that sweetens the bitter medicine. I don't want to unite you with laughter or anger. I just needed my story to be heard. My story felt, understood by individuals with minds of their own, because, like it or not, your story is my story, and my story is your story. I just don't have the strength to take care of my story anymore. I don't want my story defined by anger. All I can ask is just please help me take care of my story from being called, you're a fucking faggot. He's a fucking gay. These words echo forever. They follow me every day. It took 5 years of this and maybe a few years more. Each time it happened, I kept my head up and continued walking down the corridor. Words can really get to you, and they might even cut deep. They might haunt you forever, even in your sleep. But stand up to them, and don't take any shit. It's a problem that can be dealt with. Take action on this. Talk it out loud. Have faith in your strength. Life is too important. You've got a future ahead of you. You've got a chance to make a difference. So don't let them get to you.